Welcome back to Weirdly Forgotten. I'm Ripon, and today we're setting sail for a place lost to the modern world, an island where the ticking of a clock is a forbidden sound. Imagine a community where there are no minutes, no deadlines, and no appointments. Just the rising and setting of the sun. But this isn't some forgotten tribe. It's a deliberate choice. The question is, why would anyone choose to outlaw time itself? Stick around as we unravel this extraordinary mystery. Picture this. You step off a boat onto a rugged, wind-swept coastline. You won't see a single watch on anyone's wrist. The church tower has no clock hands. The local school rings no bells to signal the end of a lesson. Here, life flows not by the minute, but by the moment. Meals are eaten when people are hungry. Work is done when the light is good. People gather when they feel the urge for community. It sounds idyllic, almost like a dream. But this wasn't always the case. Old photographs show the islanders with pocket watches, and historical records mention schedules for fishing and farming. So what happened? What drove an entire community to collectively smash their clocks and turn their backs on the tyranny of the second hand? The answer isn't a simple one. It's woven into the very soul of the island, a story of philosophy, faith, and rebellion. To understand their decision, we have to go back over a century. The island was home to a unique philosophical and religious movement, one that's largely unknown to the outside world. Led by a charismatic thinker named Ilara, the islanders began to see timekeeping not as a tool, but as a cage. Ilara taught that the mechanical clock was an artificial construct, a human invention that sliced life into meaningless, stressful units. She argued that true existence, true connection with the divine and with nature, could only be experienced in the unbroken now. According to her teachings, measuring life in minutes and hours was a form of blasphemy against the eternal flow of creation. She believed that clocks created anxiety, forcing people to rush from one task to the next, robbing them of the simple joy of being present. Her philosophy wasn't about laziness, it was about depth. It was a call to live more deliberately, to pay attention to the natural rhythms of the day and the seasons. The islanders were taught that the sun, the moon, and the tides were the only timekeepers they needed. These were God's clocks, not man's. This spiritual foundation became the bedrock of their new society. For them, abandoning time wasn't just a lifestyle choice, it was an act of profound faith. But spiritual philosophy alone doesn't usually lead to such a radical societal shift. The real catalyst for the ban on time came much later, with the arrival of the industrial age on the mainland. As factories boomed and life in the cities became relentlessly scheduled, the islanders watched with growing unease. They saw how mainland life was being dictated by factory whistles and train schedules. People were becoming cogs in a machine, their lives measured not in experiences, but in billable hours and work shifts. The islanders saw this as a profound spiritual sickness, a detachment from what it truly means to be human. They resisted the pull of this new world. When a company proposed building a large, modern cannery on the island, complete with strict timetables and production quotas, the community reached its breaking point. This was the final straw. It wasn't just about resisting a factory, it was about resisting the entire philosophy of industrial time that came with it. This led to what the islanders now call the Great Unwinding. In a symbolic act of protest, the entire community gathered in the central square. They brought their family clocks, their pocket watches, and any timekeeping device they owned. In a solemn ceremony, they dismantled them. It was a declaration of independence not from a country, but from the concept of managed time itself. The act was a powerful statement. They were choosing their own pace of life. They were choosing community over productivity, well-being over efficiency. Soon after, the island's small council passed an official ordinance. The possession and use of mechanical or digital timekeeping devices were forbidden. This wasn't just a philosophical preference anymore. It was the law of the land. They had successfully created a sanctuary, a bubble where the relentless march of modern life could not intrude. They chose their ancient rhythms over the promise of modern progress. Now, you might be thinking, how does this even work in the 21st century? It's a fascinating social experiment. Without clocks, the community operates on a system of natural cues and mutual understanding. A meeting might be scheduled for when the morning shadow of the old oak touches the well. Children go to school after their morning chores are done, and they learn until the sun is high in the sky. Fishermen go out with the tide, not with an alarm clock. There's an incredible level of social trust required. You have to trust that people will show up, that work will get done, and that the community will function. Surprisingly, it does. Visitors often describe a profound sense of peace on the island, an absence of the low-level anxiety that permeates so much of our own lives. There's no, "I'm running late," or "I don't have time." There is only now. Of course, it's not a perfect utopia. Emergencies can be complicated. Coordinating with the outside world for supplies or medical transport requires a designated liaison who temporarily uses a sealed official clock. But for daily life, the system holds. The island's unique culture has, ironically, attracted a new kind of threat: tourism. People from our clock-obsessed world are fascinated by this timeless land. They come seeking a digital detox, a break from their overscheduled lives. But their very presence poses a challenge. Tourists instinctively check their phones for the time. They ask, "What time does the ferry leave?" Or, "How long does the hike take?" Each question is a small tear in the fabric of the island's culture. The islanders have had to adapt, creating a sort of buffer zone for visitors, with guides who help translate between the two worlds. They gently remind tourists to put their watches away and try to experience the island on its own terms. It's a delicate balance, sharing their peaceful way of life without letting it be destroyed by the very culture it was created to resist. The islanders are now fighting to protect their timelessness from a world that wants to consume it as a novelty. So, what can we learn from this incredible place? The island that banned time holds up a mirror to our own lives. It forces us to ask, are we using time, or is time using us? We live in a world of constant notifications, deadlines, and schedules. We optimize every minute for productivity, often at the expense of our own well-being. The Islanders' story isn't necessarily a call for all of us to smash our clocks. That's just not practical. But it is a powerful reminder that the way we perceive and use time is a choice. Their radical experiment in living challenges us to reconsider our relationship with it. Could we carve out our own little timeless islands in our daily lives? Maybe it's a phone-free evening, a weekend without a schedule, or simply taking a moment to watch the sunset without thinking about what's next. The Islanders traded the precision of the clock for the richness of the moment. They chose freedom over control, and it makes you wonder, if you had the choice, could you survive without time? What would you gain, and what might you lose? It's a fascinating thought, and one that will stick with me for a long time. Thank you for joining me on this journey to a place where eternity isn't just a concept, but a way of life. If you enjoyed this exploration, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Weirdly Forgotten for more stories from the hidden corners of our world. Until next time, stay curious.